Hey everybody, well, just time prepping. I know I made the video earlier and I told you guys, let me move the camera, okay. I told you guys I was going to make a two-part video and we're going to do that tonight. So, I'm sorry it took so long, but I got busy taking care of the honeydew list today, so it's now or never. So, we're going to start it now. The two-part video is simple. The first part is going to be about long-term bulk food. This is a way that you can collect your prep foods and have it not cost you an arm and a leg. So I'm going to talk about that tonight, and then tomorrow night part 2 will be of how to get the whole neighborhood on board with working together as a MAG. This is on request from one of my subscribers. They wanted me to cover this, so I thought that I would just do it, and then it turned out after I did all the research that there was so much information there that I would have to do it in 2 parts, so I wouldn't lose you guys. So this here is probably going to take a little longer than I want it to, but I'm hoping that you guys stay with me so that we can get it all covered. So without any further ado, here we go, okay? It's got a master long-term bulk food idea, and it's the best way to make food storage is one of the hardest parts of prepping for when shit hits the fan. And we all know that we just try to buy food and put it away as we can afford it or find it on sale and whatnot, and that's how we try to prep. But this is an idea that I found online, and I thought maybe I could just share it with you guys and you could mull it over and see if it makes any sense to you. So here we go. The first thing is you need to discover what the calorie needs of each person in your family are. And then based on the calorie count, it's not a serving size, it's a calorie count. So you'd form a group to get the wholesale prices, and this is makes kind of sense after I get into it. So it would be like examples would be like Rainy Day, Patriot Pantry, or Wise Food, etc. You know, we all know who those companies are. So you could buy staples such as rice, grain, sugar, and then you look for the best pricing on these websites. Then what you would do is distribute the discounts. You would have everybody in your neighborhood, you would talk to them and say, hey, let's get together, let's buy some food, and let's if we do it wisely, we can get a lot of food to put into our preps, or even to put back in case of an emergency, you know, the floods, the hurricanes. And you know how it goes. So you buy staples, and then you distribute. You get distributor discounts. If you buy enough, distributors give you discounts on the food. And what happens is most of the food comes in pre-sealed bags. You've seen it online if you've researched any of it, that when you buy the buckets, you know it's all in pre-sealed bags and whatnot. So that's what you would do, and then you would look for the best prices. The biggest savings in ordering bulk is the shipping cost, because if you order a little bit at a time, if you actually think about it, you know, you're buying a bucket here, a bucket there, and then you're paying the shipping to get it there. And if you figure up the cost of the shipping each time, you're really paying quite a bit of money. So shipping's about 75% cheaper if you order as a group. And as a group, the prices are about 14% cheaper. Does that make sense to you? That's a pretty big savings right there. If you could get 7 or 8 friends to form a group, then you would be able to qualify for bulk discounts. So as you can see, the more you buy, the cheaper it is. The more people you have in the group, the cheaper it is. So you could actually get together with your neighbors in the neighborhood and you could form a club. And this is what they're getting at. So by forming the club, Then you would break that down into a spreadsheet so all the members get an equal amount of whatever foods that they need by calorie count. Excuse me. So you keep track of what each person needs, and then you put that into your spreadsheet, okay? Then you get the foods that will have a shelf life of 10, 15, or even 20 years. And if you get those foods that are already, the distributors telling you that they're good for that long, they're probably good for a little longer, so you may even get like 30 years out of them, and that way you're really getting a big deal, you know. You get the cost of the foods, and they come into play as the food cost rises. So if you think about it, the food cost rises about 8% a year. If you're buying your food, the buckets or whatever, a little bit at a time, you're paying more for the shipping, but then as you figure it out, every year the cost rises about 8%. So it would be that at the end, I've got it all written down here. Let me find it, I lost my place. 8% a year. So if you think about it, if you order $1,000 worth of groceries for a 20-year cost, you'd be spending about $10,000. But if you were to go out and you get the stuff in a group, and you get the spreadsheet, and you go into a distributor, you get the discounts, it's going to cost, you're going to be saving like 10, I think the article said you'd be saving around $10,000 to $15,000. Because if you figure the cost of food rising every year at 8%. So you always want to think ahead. And that's all the notes I have on it, but I do remember the rest of it. And so what you want to do is when you buy that for a large group of people, you buy it from like Wise Foods, Ognotten, shoot, there's so many out there, I can't remember them all, but then you order as a group, you get the spreadsheet out, you figure out the calorie count for each person, and then you know how much you're going to get, because you know if you buy it in bulk, you're going to save a lot of money. And one thing you're going to save a lot of money at is shipping. Another thing you're going to save a lot of money at is the shelf life. It's going to be there for 10 or 20 years, so every year you're not paying 8% more for your food. And so usually what happens is you get enough people together to form this co-op, and so when the food comes, it will usually come in a big truck. The big truck will probably have several pallets on it, and so they'll unload the pallets. They usually have, those kind of trucks usually have a forklift attached to them, and they'll just pull them off the truck. But what you need to do is then you get all your neighbors together as a group, and you have the spreadsheet already in front of you. And so you have one person that's organized with the spreadsheet. You have 7 to 10 people that are there to help unload the pallets. So you have each family, and you're telling each family what they can pull off the pallet, and they're taking that and they're putting it away at their place. So now you've got the work party there. So you see where I'm going with this, right? You order the food in bulk. You save a ton, I mean a ton on shipping. You save a ton on having to buy it by the year, because every year the price goes up 8%. Then it all comes in a big truckload, and you have somebody there with the spreadsheet and divvying up the food. So you don't have 1 or 2 people unloading a whole bunch of food and piling it up and finding a place to store it at their place. You have everybody taking their share, and they're putting them at their place, and they have their own storage area. Now you can see that you have your whole neighborhood's involved in this food storage. So now you know that they're already starting to be prepared. That they don't even know it. They're getting in on this great deal, but at the same time they're preparing for down the road when prices go up, or if something happens like a catastrophe of some sort, like the zombie apocalypse or a flood or a hurricane, a flood, you know, all the catastrophes that can happen. So now they've all got their own little share there. And then tomorrow's video, what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about, now that they've got their own plan in place, we're going to talk about how the neighborhood can pull together to take care of any catastrophe that might happen, so that each family has something to do, and it'll be like a neighborhood group. It's a MAG, actually a MAG. And that, everybody, if you don't know what a MAG is, it's people that have the same ideas in a group. So now we've started by getting them the food, and they know that they've got preps. We call them preps, that's preppers. But these people are probably non-preppers, but they are storing food because you convince them that they need this food to store in case of a catastrophe. So now you're already pushing them into the right direction. The next thing we're going to talk about is how we get all those people together to protect what's theirs. Their neighborhood, their houses, their children, their cars, their everything. You get together as a group and you start forming watch parties and things like that. But we'll get into that tomorrow night. Or tomorrow. I'll probably try to get the video done early enough tomorrow. Today we kind of got away from me, but as you can see, today I'm talking about bulk food. You buy it in bulk, you save, and most of the time you can get the bulk food. Usually you can buy $1,000 or $2,000 worth of food, and it's quite a bit of food if you have every person in your neighborhood or group buying $1,000 or $2,000 worth of food. You're buying a truckload of food. And so what they suggest is everybody buys it around income tax time, because everybody's got money at income tax time. You're getting your bonuses for your children, and extra you're going to have some extra money laying around. So the thing is to go out and do all this at the end of the year, or the beginning of the next year, and you get a bulk rate, you get a shipping cut, you get a cost of living cut, because you're buying years worth, 10 or 20 years worth, and you're getting that discount. So if that all makes sense to you, it makes sense to me. But what you need to do is sit down and think about it and make it so it makes sense to you. And then tomorrow is part 2, where we're going to talk about how to get everybody to come together as a group to protect what they have, their families, their houses, their area. And we'll talk about that tomorrow. So that's what I have for you for today. I'm hoping that I explained it good enough for you to understand. If you don't think you understand it, leave a comment down below, or leave some ideas that you have down below in the comment section, and we can discuss it through the comment section and try to get everybody to understand it. So that's all I have for today. Part 2 tomorrow, because part 2, it's going to take a little longer than what today did. I figure that the information I got off the internet probably going to last 20 or 30 minutes. So be prepared to watch about 20 or 30 minute video tomorrow, so that we can put the food and the group security together, and that way you have a way to take care of your whole neighborhood. And that was the question that was brought to me by one of my subscribers, is they want to know how they can work together as a neighborhood in a disaster. They live in an area where they get lots of snow and they get snowed in. They want to know how all the neighbors can work together. So I went ahead and I gathered up this information, and I'm bringing it back to you guys. So that's what I have for today. I hope you understand it. If you don't, like I said, leave the comments down below. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up and push that bell so you can get other videos I make. And remember, my drink's over there. Remember, I love you, and I couldn't be doing any of this without you guys, without the support that you give me. So God bless you, God bless me, and God bless USA. Thanks for watching tonight. I appreciate it.